Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And if I may, I'll be from Texas today. Mr. Chairman, if I may just take a moment of my time to congratulate Jason, who's a part of our team. As you know, our staff does excellent work, and Jason, who's a part of our team, is not here today. He is on his way to consummate his marriage, and I'm honored to say that we will miss him, but we are proud that he is now taking on a beautiful bride. Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you and thank the witness for appearing as well. Mr. Chairman, for those who are watching today and unfamiliar with this term Operation Choke Point, it is generally viewed as a Department of Justice initiative aimed at protecting consumers by scrutinizing certain financial institutions and their role in providing access points to the banking system for industries and businesses with higher risk of fraud. And that's what we'll be talking about today, Operation Choke Point for the most part. Fraudulent transactions in our banking system are a real issue, not to be taken lightly. In 2012, the Federal Reserve estimated that there were 31.1 million unauthorized transactions worth $6.1 billion through third-party payment processors, which are businesses that for a fee take payments from consumers and deposit them in banks for merchants. In addition, a 2012 Economist article suggests that in the United States, 42% of Americans have experienced some form of payment card fraud in the preceding 5 years. Given that the FDIC is a prudential regulator of many financial institutions that take on consumer deposits, it should come as little surprise that they too are interested in addressing fraud in our banking system. However, we should not confuse the FDIC doing its job as a regulator as evidence that it is doing anything more than fulfilling its mission. Some have gone to great lengths to rely on email exchanges and supervisory guidance to connect the FDIC to this DOJ effort, Operation Choke Point. Reports have been published and accusations leveled. However, the truth remains that the FDIC has been monitoring and regulating fraud at the financial institutions it oversees long before there was ever a formal Operation Choke Point. Some may draw attention to a supervisory letter issued by the FDIC in 2011 highlighting a list of high-risk industries as evidence of their involvement in Choke Point by means of prohibiting banks from doing business with entities on this list. In truth, this was an attempt by the FDIC to help financial institutions be aware of the higher rates of fraud sometimes associated with certain industries. The list was compiled based on input from the third-party payment processors who do business with the industries. Nonetheless, when notified of concerns by banks that their list was potentially being misconstrued and misapplied during examinations, FDIC took definitive action to clarify that banks could continue their business relationships with any industry as long as proper due diligence was executed to protect consumers. And that's really what this is about, protecting consumers. Furthermore, in the interest of eliminating confusion, the FDIC retracted the list. These actions do not equate to a federal regulator overstepping its bounds to put businesses out of business. In fact, it illustrates a government agency willing to listen to the concerns of the entities it regulates and adjust its actions accordingly. I would, however, like to take a moment to recognize a more serious issue regarding the off-the-cuff comments made by employees at the FDIC as it relates to the banking relations of certain industries. While I do not think excessive credence should be given to remarks made off the cuff, I do expect FDIC examiners to act responsibly. I understand that an internal IG investigation is underway to determine whether any misconduct has occurred. Based on the actions already taken by the FDIC to be responsive to the concerns raised, I fully expect the FDIC to address these findings, if any, made by the IG. I will close by expressing my gratitude to the Chairman for his leadership, and I hope that this hearing will clarify the FDIC's longstanding mandate to combat fraud and protect depositors. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.